This is David. Welcome back behind the velvet rope. Let's just get right into it today because she's so misunderstood, but she's back with us. She's Miss Rachel Yucatel.
Hi, David. Hi, David's fans.
I mean, they're not your fans, honey. We have a lot to discuss. Since I saw you on Thursday night, I have gotten on a plane, flown to LA, did some recordings, had some dinners, had a bed delivered, and now I'm back in the Hamptons. And we had dinner with Bo Dietl at RHONJ on Thursday.
We did. How fun was that?
I mean, I'm still recovering from so many ways. What did
Yeah.
you think of the famous RHONJs with the famous Bo Dietl?
Well, let me start by saying I've been there before, but I haven't been there with Bo Dietl, and that is a different experience. He's had his table since 1977. He has table number one, and he goes every Thursday night. And it's been written on the front page in the New York Times about the people he's had at his table. So for us to have been invited was a very big deal. And I recorded with him an hour before we went to dinner. I know you recorded with him a couple weeks ago. And we all drove up together from the studio. But in my interview with him, we talked about his table at RHONJ's and who was his favorite out of all the people. By the way, he's had everyone from, Bill Gates to Demi Moore to like literally from actors to athletes, Leonardo DiCaprio, Martin Scorsese. He's had everyone at his table. I asked him who his most favorite guest was. Do you want to take a guess?
David Yontef and Rachel Yucatel from the Behind the Velvet Rope and Misunderstood podcasts.
Well, it's so funny you say that because he asked me who I thought it would be, and I said me. But he said it was Denzel Washington.
Really?
He is a co-producer on the Bone Collector. And I believe, I guess Denzel and Angelina Jolie were in that. And he had Denzel a few times. And he said he was one of the most genuine, amazing guys he's ever met. And it was an honor for him to have him at his table. And then he said the one person he would like to get is Putin.
Okay, first of all, I mean, that's crazy. I almost feel guilty that I don't know, do we need to, I feel like I didn't bow down to Bo enough. Like, this is a big deal to go to RHONJ's with Bo.
Well,
let's.
Yeah. Well, I was kind of was I on a blind date?
Okay, I fixed you up on a blind date with Bo Dietl. Now, let me just say that part 2 of our chat, me and Bo Dietl, which everyone is going to listen to, he on air. I'm not talking, listen, we are honest here, Rachel. So I'm not nice. I'm not kissing anyone's ass. I slam a lot of people when they deserve it. I have nothing but I'm going to bow down to Bo Dietl because out of the, Kris Jenner, Kathy Hilton, and Bo Dietl are the 3 people that scare me in the world. But he had this breakdown on air over his ex. It's on. And I said, look, I have someone to fix you up with. He described what he was looking for. Physically, you are very attractive. He is like an old school New York guy. You are an icon in the old school New York world. So I'm like, this isn't just me pulling 2 people out of my asshole like Patty Stanger did for you and I. Love you, Patty, because I'm friends with her.
Love you, Patty.
Right. But this was really this has an actual chance to really maybe go somewhere. He likes the New York, New Jersey type of broad. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, we had a great time. I will say that. And we match well because we are both A-type personalities. And, so I wasn't intimidated by him. I thought he was great. We had a really fun time. It was a group dinner. It wasn't a real date. We're just kind of joking around here. But David did interview him a couple of weeks ago and did set us up on a blind date. I don't know if this was the blind date, but we all got together as friends. So it was really nice.
Listen, I lead horses to water, and what happens after that is out of me. But yes, I was on your blind date. It's really funny because I am not a shy person, and I do sometimes get what I want. So when we walk in and Bo's like, you sit there, you sit there, you sit there, he puts me and Rachel, and we both had the same reaction. As soon as we sat down, I'm like, I fucking don't want to, it's not his table. It's that I like to be against the wall. I have that mob mentality of and at RHONJ's, of course, it's appropriate to have a mob mentality. I don't like having my back towards people. So it's funny how you and I both were when he went to do whatever, you're like, how are these our 2 seats at the table? I'm like, girl, I thought the exact same thing.
Right. But I did get to sit next to him. So that was nice.
You did. The food, listen, and the same thing. I would have chosen maybe different things. I like a veal palm. I like a chicken palm. I would have chosen some different things, but I've never been such a sub little bitch as I was at Ray's. I'm like, yes, the lamb chops, the food was good. It's just like I would have chosen different things, perhaps. That's all.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
So, are you going out again with Bo Dietl?
He did call me the next day, and yeah, I mean, if he asked me out again, sure, why? It would have to be one-on-one this time. I mean, if I'm going to go on a date with somebody, I go one-on-one. So
Fine. Before we move on, two things. Feel free to bring me on any date you guys have together. And two, my favorite part of Bo Dietl, I love that he was packing heat. I love seeing.
he takes his jacket off and he had a gun. We
I
were all
love.
like, wait, what?
I love someone who carries it, someone who's authorized, because we have a lot of gun issues in the United States and in the world, but I love someone who's authorized who carries a gun. It's like no one's gonna fuck with us. I love that he was packing heat, girl.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Moving on, it's come to my attention recently. Well, now I had the pleasure of sitting down not once, but twice with Miss Janice Dickinson. She was your roommate. I know you're such a fan of Janice. I'm being a little sarcastic. She was your roommate on Celebrity Rehab. You were on Celebrity Rehab for love addiction, I believe.
Correct.
And it has come to my attention that when you went in for treatment in the real world for love addiction and relationship issues, you were at a place called the Meadows, which, that's a long time in the past. It is, my eyes have been open as my listeners here. These guys don't overlook anything. Miss Raquel Levis, this is where she just spent her 6 months, 4 months, whatever it was. So you were in the same facility as Raquel Levis?
If that is where she was at the Meadows in Berg, Arizona. Let me say something about this place. First of all, we were talking about earlier, there's some rumors about how much it costs, how long she was there. The program is a 45-day program. They have a women's clinic. It is called the Willow House. That is the women's facility. They take up to around 12 people. The men's facility is called Gentle Path. And, they focus on people with love addiction or intimacy issues. And that is what you are dealing with 24/7 while you're there. You can't call out. You can't have phone calls come in. You can make one phone call. Was it one phone call a day? I'm trying to remember now. You can make one phone call, but it has to be after you've been there for 2 weeks and you're really discouraged from using a phone, and you're in the main house with everyone when you're on the phone, so everyone can hear what's going on. So a day in the life there, first of all, it's super boring. It's a really, as I said, really small unit. You do a lot of mental diagnosis things first. For the first 10 days, you're being diagnosed. They spend a lot of time doing that on you. Once you're diagnosed with what you have, then they work on that with you. You get your own therapist, your own medical doctor. You get, if you're going to be put on pills, you get the pills. You get whatever your treatment plan is. That starts after day 10. But usually these programs are 45 days, not 6 months, not 4 months. If she disappeared for longer than the 45 days,